In this session, we are going to talk about how to install and configure the data gateway. So we will be configuring the personal data gateway. In the previous session, we have already talked about what exactly is the data gateway and what is the difference between the standard and the personal mode data gateway. So let's see how can we download and install it on our local system. So for that, what I'll do is first I'll open this app.powerbi.com. So let's say that we are in a workspace. So let me say I'm in one of the workspaces and it has multiple reports. So now all these reports also have this data associated with it. Now this data is just a copy of the data that was present in our local desktop. But what I'm trying to do is that whenever I make any changes in the data that is located on my local device, or if I'm extracting that data from any SQL servers, so whatever changes have been made over there should reflect over here in our data set and also our reports. So for that, sometimes we try to do the schedule refresh, which is basically refreshing the data. So over here, you can find this schedule refresh option. So if you click over here, you will find that there is no data gateway installed right now associated with it. Also, if you go over here in the data source credentials, previously I created one data source connected with it, basically this data gateway. So it is showing me that, but currently I'm not having associated with it. So let's say that I'm working with Power BI and I have created a small page over here, a small report, and now I want to publish it online on our Power BI services. For that, what I can do is I can click on publish and I can just save it. I have given the name of it as Netflix report. I will select any workspace on which I want to publish this report and I will click on select. You will see that it is trying to publish it on the Power BI services, as I have already logged in into the Power BI services account, and we have already discussed how to log in on the Power BI services account. Again, I'll go back to my Power BI services, refresh it over here. So now this Netflix report is visible to me. Now let's go on the schedule refresh. And over here, I don't have any data source credentials. So what I need to do is I need to create a data gateway in order to configure that particular data set with this online data set, and then it can refresh my reports. So for that, what I'll do is I will search on Google for the Power BI data gateway and it would give me some options. So basically it would show me this on premises data gateway. So I can click on it and then it would take me to this page where I can say that I want to install the on premises data gateway. Now, this is an article. Here you can find out that what is the requirement of that data gateway, that it requires minimum 4 GB of disk space and also a 64-bit of version 10 of Windows on also 64-bit version of Microsoft Windows Server 2019. Also, this is the recommendation that they are giving you. Now, if you scroll down, you will find the two options. The first one would be downloading the standard gateway, and it is telling you that if you click on this option, it would basically download the standard gateway file, and then you can double click on it and it would open up the installer. After the installer has been running, then it would tell you the path where you want to install that particular data gateway. So you can just select the path from over here and then you can click on install. Then on the next step, it would ask you about the email ID that is associated with the Power BI services account. You can put it in your email ID and you can click on sign in. Then you can register a new data gateway or you can migrate or restore any existing data gateway. So we haven't created any data gateway right now. So what we will be selecting is this register a new gateway on this computer option. Then you can give it any name which you want to give, and you can also provide a recovery key in order to, if you want to keep it as safe. Then the data gateway would be ready to use. So we will be not using this standard gateway right now. What I'm doing is I am using this personal gateway. So we have already talked about what is the basic difference between the personal data gateway and the standard data gateway. So I'll just scroll down and I will select this option where it says download the personal mode gateway. So then it would ask me where do you want to save it. So I can save it in the download folders. I am already having it downloaded. After you have downloaded it, what you need to do is you need to double click on it. You need to select the path where you want to install it, and then you can just put it in your email ID. After you put in your email ID, this would be the window that will be shown to you. Over here in the status, it would show you that the data is connected. So the data gateway is connected, the version of it. You can go in the service settings and you can restart the gateway if you want. You can also go in the diagnostics to find out the export logs. And if you want any additional logs, you can select this option. and you can create the logs as well. In the network option, you can select that you can set the data gateway to communicate through the Azure services as well. Then we have the connector options, which is basically giving you the path where this is located. So these are some of the options that you can find out. You can just click on apply after you have made the necessary changes. I'm not making any changes right now. Now, this is a fairly simple step. The next step is a bit complicated. What you need to do is you need to come back to your reports. Now, this is the report, and this is basically the report, and this is the data gateway, basically the data that is associated with it. So I need to provide it to a data gateway. Over here, you can find the refresh option. So if I try to refresh this particular data, it is giving me any error. So you can find out over here that there was an error with your data set. Select the warning icon to view the details. You can click over here and it would tell you that it is not able to refresh the data set. So for that, what I can do is I can click over here and I can go in the settings option. In the settings option, if you scroll down, you will find over here that this is the file that is associated with it, but it is not able to find that file. So I can just click on edit credentials. Over here, it has automatically taken the path where that data set was originally located. Over here, it is asking you for the authentication method. So you can put over here Windows without implementation. Then next is the privacy level settings for this data source. So if you want to add any privacy settings, you can provide the private, organization, or the public settings. Currently, I'm keeping none. Then I can click on sign in. So what it would do is the data gateway currently it is active and it is online. So it is automatically detecting that the data services over there is online, and whatever changes you make in your data, they would be reflecting over here. Also, you can click on the show in lineage view, and this would be basically showing you that this is the data and it is affecting the report. And if that report is affecting any dashboard, it would also show you that path. Again, if you come over here, you can see the impact across the workspaces. Now, if you want to refresh it, you can click on the refresh option and it would refresh the report for you. If any changes have been made to your dataset, it would be reflecting over here. Again, go back to the PowerBI services. Over here, we have already provided the data source credentials. Over here, you can go in the gateway and cloud connections, and you can see that this is the data gateway that we have installed, and it is currently running on the administrator that is running on our local system. So if you want to delete it, you can also delete it from over here. Then you can go in the refresh options and you can configure a schedule refresh. So let's say that your data is changing twice a rate. So what you can do is you can click over here and you can give it that you want to refresh it daily, and you can add two timings. Whenever your data is getting refreshed or any new data is coming in, you can put in that time and it would refresh your data at that particular time. Also, you can go in the data connections options, and let's say that you are making any changes to your data, and if you want to disconnect this report currently from that so that no changes could be reflecting over here, so you can just disconnect it for the timing also. So this was fairly simple in terms of just installing the personal data gateway, just clicking on next option and then signing in with your Power BI services account that currently is located over here. Also remember that you need a license type for it. So basically, if you're not having any license type, so you can purchase a trial period license. It would give you 60 days license, and you can just play around with the multiple options that are present in the pro account or premium accounts. This was all for downloading and installing the personal data gateway. Thank you.